Congratulations on the purchase of your new Devil City bike. What a bike! But you probably want to ride it, huh? Well, we definitely want to help you. So let's get started. I am the narrator. I'll be saying some things and you will be processing that while building your bike. You can also reference our step-by-step assembly guide if that is more your style. Go at your own pace. Pause, rewind, and do what's comfortable. Assembly takes roughly 45 to 60 minutes, so make sure you have enough time. Let's get to it. To assemble your bike, you will need 4, 5, and 6 mm Allen wrenches, a 15 mm pedal wrench, and a scissors. You should have a small parts box and a partially assembled bike. Inside the small parts box, you should find a saddle, seat post, grease, reflectors, reflector brackets and bolts, a quick release skewer, and pedals. If you can't find a part, look again. If you still can't find it, contact us and we will be sure to get the issue resolved. If you don't have a bike stand, we encourage you to find a friend to help keep your bike stable throughout this process. All right, let's unwrap all of the packaging. Turn the stem so it is facing forward and remove the fork saver. Find the direction of the arrow on the side of the tire. This will tell you which way to install. Next, let's get the quick release skewer in place. Unscrew the smaller end and remove one of the springs. Then, with the wheel in front of you and the arrows pointing forward, insert the skewer on the left side or non-drive side. Slide the spring back on the skewer small end first and thread the skewer nut back on. Lift up the front end of your bike and slide the wheel into the fork dropouts. Double check to make sure the tire tread is facing the right way and the lever is on the left or non-drive side. All good? Great. Now tighten it up. The rule of thumb with the quick release skewer is that when the lever is flipped up, you should start to feel resistance at the halfway point. Once you have it set to the right tension, make sure that the wheel is centered in the fork. The easiest way to do this is centering the tire below the center of the fork hole. Look at you, it's almost a bike. Move the rear brake cable onto the side of the stem that is the non-drive side. Grab a 4 mm Allen wrench and remove the stem faceplate. Center your handlebars in the stem, making sure that the cables are not twisted, and reinstall the faceplate. Before we move on, let's make our lives a little easier and tighten the stem pinch bolts. We'll do the fine-tuning later, so don't worry about tightening everything all the way. Align the barrel adjuster so you can slide the cable in. Then, spin the barrel adjusters back so the cable won't come out. Then hook the round metal end of the straddle cable into the drive side brake arm. If you're having any issues, please refer to our brake adjustment tutorial. Pedals are left and right specific, so make sure you install the right pedal on the right side, the drive side, and the left on the non-drive side. Dab a generous amount of grease on the threads. This is very important. Before you install, please note that the right pedal is reverse threaded and the left pedal is regular threaded. Grab your 15 mm pedal wrench and install the pedals. You can install the pedals by simply backpedaling. If you encounter significant resistance or the pedal does not seem to be going on straight, back it off immediately and start again. Thread each pedal until completely tight with the wrench. Grab the grease and put a generous dab where the seat post will go. Use a 5mm Allen wrench to loosen the bolt on the seat post clamp and insert the seat post. Now, grab a 6mm Allen wrench and loosen the bolt of the seat post. Pivot the top plate 90 degrees and place the seat rails in the grooves on the lower plate of the seat post. Then pivot the top plate back 90 degrees. Make sure your saddle is level and retighten the bolt. You're almost done, but let's get it dialed in. Stand over the bike. Make sure your handlebars and stem are aligned with the front wheel. The best way to do this is to line up the wheel with the 4 bolts on the stem. Once it is straight, tighten the stem bolts firmly. To adjust the angle of the handlebars, put both hands on your grips and adjust so it is most comfortable for you. This is why we didn't tighten those 4 faceplate bolts all the way earlier. Once you're happy with it, give a quick check to make sure the bar is still centered and tighten up the faceplate. To find the proper height of your seat post, locate your pelvic bone or your hip bone and set it to that height. This is a good way to estimate where your seat should be, but as you ride, you may find it needs some fine-tuning. Now it's time to pump up those tires. Remove the dust cap. Spin the nut counterclockwise and press with your finger to break the air seal. We suggest keeping your tires at 95 psi at all times, as it will decrease your chances of getting a flat. When completed, spin the nut clockwise and put the dust cap back on. Look over your bike and make sure everything is centered and aligned. Check every bolt and both pedals, ensuring everything is good and tight. Twist at the bars, push on the levers, attempt to twist the saddle. Nothing should move. Finally, the drop test. Make sure there is minimal rattle and everything stays in place. If you have any questions, concerns, or if something doesn't feel quite right, reach out to us or see our other online tutorials. And there you have it. You've assembled your very own handsome Devil City. Now get out of here and ride.